Ic18 Encyclopedia Studying. Studying under new management, guided by the forces of the universe, your sacred counsel. Discover the secrets of the universe, which reveals an assembly or circle of 32 laws of universe and nature, or better said, the guiding forces of universe and nature, such as duality, time, change, attraction, cause and effect, order, place and function, and many more. We are all looking for change, struggling in so many ways and aspects of our life. We may have an advisor, a healthcare practitioner, a nutritionist, personal trainer, or even a lifestyle coach. But we don't have access to them all day long. So enter the circle of vital and aware living and meet the Sacred Council, your personal lifestyle and awareness coaching team, always ready to assist you in every moment and in any circumstance. We are like visitors in a foreign country without knowing the laws and how everything functions in that world. We know a lot about the things of the modern world, but know little about the basics of life. See how they assist us with every step we make and with every breath we take, and make them practical in your daily life in dealing with your real self, your soul, your mind and your thoughts, your body, words and communication, nutrition, fitness, your life partner, children, the teenage years, getting older, stress, weight, disease, emotions, business, destructive habits, preserving the planet, studying, and friendships. For more detailed information on each of the guiding forces, see the intro booklet. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and each subject can have many books because each subject can be approached from various perspectives or angles. Most important, however, is not to forget that all that is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth, and not the truth. Because the spoken and written word is part of the creative world created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more that can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is formed from their particular point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. Hopefully, it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical, and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need one word or a sentence that inspires and motivates us to do things differently or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. The guiding force of the Creator. Make God a reality in your life. In regards to studying, know that this is only possible because a life force that is within you and inside the subject you are studying about. Without this life-creating and life-sustaining force, nothing can exist. Be thankful for these gifts and use them in a proper way and for the right reasons. Even when that you are studying is just for the sake of experience, or when it's meant to assist you in supporting your own livelihood, be sure that during your studies or after you're finished, that it is not for selfish reasons or implies suffering to others and other creatures in the creation. Most important, do not forget your spiritual inward study journey in order to claim your spiritual inheritance. Quote, "The truth is not for all men, but only for those who seek it." Ayn Rand. End of quote. The guiding force of the universal teacher. Master or be mastered. In regards to studying, know that when you really want to be good at any subject, that you need a living master teacher to assist you. Know as well that it is about the adventure in learning and not just about the end and the diploma. It is about an ongoing learning process in order to master the subject, but knowing at the same time that there is always more to be learned or to be discovered. So don't think that you know. The most important study is, however, about the study of your mind and the inner regions that are above the realm of mind and matter. It is about mastering your sense organs and negative passions, to master the mind and to reunite with your spiritual master. Quote, "The more a man is at one with himself and becomes single in heart, the more he understands higher things without labor. For he receives the light of understanding from above." Thomas à Kempis. End of quote. The guiding force of the power of the mind. Know the tricks of your mind. In regards to studying, stay aware that it is for the sake of experiencing or supporting your own livelihood and not to entertain your ego. Realize that in essence all of knowledge is already within you because all information is right within your own mind. Schools, programs, and teachers are just assisting you to draw it out from within you. The mind provides you with endless study subjects, but at the same time know that your mind under the dictates of your sense organs will distract you with endless other thoughts. Don't forget to study your mind itself, how it functions, and how it can be a greater servant, but also your worst nightmare. Quote, "All knowledge that the world has received comes from the mind, the infinite library of the universe. It is in your own mind." Swami Vivekananda. End of quote. The guiding force of the true disciple. Follow the master and the teachings. In regards to studying, stay aware that once you are studying or enrolled in a study program, that you have to follow the rules and guidelines. The general rule in learning is to have your ears open, have an open mind, pay attention, and speak less. You all study so many things regarding the world, which is perishable, but do not forget to study about the imperishable, your true essence, the soul, the creator, and your original home. Just as you follow the rules and guidelines of your studies through which you can learn to follow the instructions of your spiritual teacher and the teachings. Quote, "We have to be receptive to receive His grace. There is no dearth of His grace within, but we are not receptive of it. Our mind is scattered into the whole creation. So we have to withdraw our mind back to the eye center, put the cup in the right position before it can be filled." Hazur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. The guiding force of your inner hero. Be the hero of your own life adventure. In regards to studying, it is about staying in your hero's training circle, tuning into discipline and being one-pointed. When you stay sharp, the things you study about comes easy and it stays longer. Your life must be an ongoing study project, and mostly it will be about unlearning the things of the past, conditioned knowledge that doesn't contribute to your health, the health of others and the world. So it is about conquering that what makes you into victims and learning new things that keeps you being and staying a hero. A hero doesn't complain and is always eager to take on the enemy which in the case of studying is the mind that comes up with endless distractions. Quote, discipline is remembering what you want. David Campbell. End of quote. The guiding force of maturity and wisdom. Learn from the wise elders and nature. In regards to studying, stay aware that knowledge is attained through studying, but that the study of life itself brings a different kind of knowledge, and that wisdom is applying that knowledge through years of experience in a simple and practical manner. Maybe you are fortunate to have a wise person in your circle and learn to tune into that person. There is a lot you can study in regards to the things being part of the modern world, which gives you knowledge about those things and possibly giving you a profession. But know that without the knowledge of how to live in harmony with oneself, others and nature, and without the knowledge of the mind and the spiritual worlds, that you have very little knowledge. Do you realize that you are never finished gaining knowledge? And that the more you know, the more you understand that you don't know anything. So be careful in speaking in statements and talking about the truth. Quote, doubt grows with knowledge. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. End of quote. You must study in order to get a job, to pay for your livelihood. But in just focusing on this, you mostly lose your health, affect the health of others and the world. In order to take care of yourself, you must learn from nature and those around you who have understood the deeper meaning of life. When you start understanding the true purpose of life, you will be able to take care of life. Quote, there are obvious two educations. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live. James Truslove Adams. End of quote. The guiding force of fantasy and magic. Live your life as a magical adventure. In regards to studying, stay aware that everything you learn is part of your magical life adventure. Discover new things, although they are within your mind and it is magical, but you must not lose the magic when you have to go into the long hours of studying. It is important to keep that magic going by possibly imagining things that could come after you're done with the studying and having a profession. But be careful to not frame that imaginary picture. Do not forget to stay in touch with that deep magic within you, which comes from something innocent, your inner soul child. Life is magical, in which unexplainable things happen. You all have memories of these magical moments. Write them down and keep writing them down every day. Every moment, things disappear from being around you. Didn't you see that carrot disappearing while you ate it? You see leaves falling on the earth, and one day they're gone. And so it is with people as well. It is a magical show of things coming and going. Quote, matter is constantly being turned back into the ocean of the invisibility. That Dr. Randolph Stone. End of quote. The guiding force of translating messages. Decipher the symbolic meaning of messages. In regards to studying, stay aware that everything you learn in regards to the external world can be used as a mirror. A mirror that connects you with your inner self, through which you can discover more about yourself. First of all, never forget that all you learn in regards to the external world is already within you. It is the mirror of your life. Try to bring your study interest and possible future professions back to your inner self. Like your interest for administration, make sure to administer yourself. Taking care of others, don't forget to take care of yourself. Art, become an artist in all areas of your life, and which connects you with your inner child. Science, go into the inner laboratory and do the research about your real self and inner path. You study so much, but do not know too much about yourself, the body, mind, and the endless messages what life gives you. You do not know about the basics of life and struggle endlessly. Is this not a message by itself that it's time to study more about the basic things of life? Quote, if by gaining knowledge we destroy our health, we labor for a thing that will be useless in our hands. John Locke. End of quote. You may say, but where do I begin? There is so much that needs to be changed in my life and around me. Every aspect of your life is in need of a different adventure, with new experiences. Just start with something and keep going, for this is your new life adventure. The old one is the past. The guiding force of the energy of solids and earth. Feel connected and keep on experiencing new. In regards to studying, know that all you learn in regards to creation is for a future profession. It is about experiencing and giving you a sense of connection to the world of mind and matter. Be aware, however, that none of that will give you a solid foundation, because there are no guarantees in the world of mind and matter. It is about the experience, and not trying to find security through them, and definitely it is not about you trying to control or hold on to any of it. When you look for security and a solid foundation, you must go the spiritual path and find that inside of yourself, and this is from above the world of mind and matter. Quote, always keep your mind as bright and clear as the vast sky, the great ocean, and the highest peak, empty of all thoughts. Always keep your body filled with light and heat. Fill yourself with the power of wisdom and enlightenment. Morihei Oshiba. End of quote. Studying is a very long marathon which requires strength and courage in order to make the finish line. The years of study feel often being in a cave and hopefully a preparation for deeper concentration and meditation at a later time in your life. It often feels like having to cross a mountain, especially at exam times, but once crossed, it feels like almost nothing happened. It was nothing. The guiding force of the energy of liquids and water. Go with the flow and in moderation. In regards to studying, know that you must have a commitment towards your studies, and know that a commitment is only possible when you are creative, adaptable, and flexible. Go with the flow and adapt to your heights and lows, and be creative when you have difficult times while studying. Do not lose that child within you that is eager to learn new and different things. Quote, you are led through your lifetime by the inner learning creature, the playful spiritual being that is called real self. Don't turn away from possible future before you're certain you don't have anything to learn from them. Richard Bach. End of quote. When you study dry and boring subjects, interchange them with more fun subjects, and then return again to the harder ones. Find different ways that keep motivating and inspire you. Otherwise, you get too serious and you will lose the zest. Studying for a profession is not just about lusting for the degree, it is about getting the knowledge. Don't be a show-off in what you think you know, or with your grades. Just be modest. Many times you have to learn things that you are not really interested in, but who are part of the study packages. Quote, lots of times you have to pretend to join a parade in which you're not really interested, in order to get where you're going. Christopher Darlington Morley. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of heat and fire. Pace yourself in order to digest. In regards to studying, know that when you are trying to do too much and too fast, that you will not be able to digest and take in all the information. When you are not able to digest all the information, it will connect you with fear, and fear expresses itself through frustration and anger. This makes studying even more difficult. So be more gentle and pace yourself, because studying and learning is the adventure objective. But when you get caught with the finish line, know that it will strangle you. The energy of heat and fire makes studying possible, but too much fire will burn you out. Quote, genius is eternal patience. Michelangelo. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of gases and air. Embrace, endure, and love it all. In regards to studying, connect to loving what you are studying, and loving means embracing the harder times as well, and both result in giving you the endurance to get through it all. So be patient with yourself and keep breathing, and do not get attached to outcomes. This will come as a result, but must not be the aim. Quote, endurance is patience concentrated. Thomas Carlyle. End of quote. When you lose touch with these guidelines and your heart is not in it anymore, but just your head, the information will feel cold and analytical and will not circulate well through your being. The guiding force of ether connected to audible sounds and verbal communication. Realize that everything you hear and say is just an opinion. In regards to studying, stay aware that all you learn is a truth and not the truth. So when you transmit information, stay aware that all you speak about is just an opinion, and do not try to harm anybody with your information and the way how you say things. There is no need to judge others when they transmit their information. Just have an open ear. Quote, all speech, written or spoken, is a dead language until it finds a willing and prepared hearer. Robert Louis Stevenson. End of quote. Life is not about being smart and having degrees. Life is being all your life in a classroom, and in general, there is little we can be proud of. Real knowledge, which is knowledge about the world beyond mind and matter, cannot be put in words. The guiding force of ether, connected to the conditioned mind, associations, and non-audible communication. Stay aware of your limited and conditioned realities. In regards to studying, try to stay clear why you are studying and stay focused, which is not easy as the mind can distract you in endless ways. But have an open mind to what others have to say, without judging them, and leave negative emotions out of the game. All knowledge in regards to the world of mind and matter is limited and transmitted in a conditioned way, which is the result of our conditioned past, and thus also limited. So your knowledge and diplomas and degrees are about something very limited, as there is so much more you don't know. Learn ways to better concentrate, and one of these ways is through your spiritual practice, but do not fall there as well into intellectual debates. Quote, just as language has no longer anything in common with the thing it names, So the movements of most of the people who live in the city have lost their connection with the earth. They hang as if it were in the air, hover in all directions, and find no place where they can settle. Rainer Maria Rilke. End of quote. The guiding force of ether, connected to the universal mind, higher virtues, and soul communication. Observe yourself. In regards to studying and attaining information, the biggest danger lays in you thinking that you know and that you have the answers. Connect with the higher virtues: acceptance, humbleness, forgiveness, gentleness, moderation, and selflessness. And do not crown yourself or others for their knowledge, their degrees or positions. Listen and observe more, and do not get involved in intellectual debates within your own mind or with others. Be more in silence. Study yourself, study the mind, and study about things that outlast your mortal existence. Be aware that the first studies in life are about life itself, about who and what you are, about the mind, how it can be a friend and enemy, and how the invisible forces of universe and nature work. It is studying about how to nurture the body and how to keep it healthy, vital, and fit. It is about your universal and spiritual inheritance, how to stay connected to your real self, the soul, and the Creator, and looking at life with different eyes. Quote, all you can learn is what your own inward life is, and try to stay loyal to that. Joseph Campbell. End of quote. Studying is not about something new, because all worldly knowledge is inside the universal mind, and all spiritual knowledge is also within you, because your soul knows all. Quote, all light, all intelligence, harmony, rhythm, beauty, wisdom, life, morality, and power come from the soul. They are all derived from the spirit and are all imparted to the mind by the spirit, just as an electric current gives power to the bulb to make it incandescent. Path of the Masters, Julian Johnson. End of quote. Finally, it is about learning a profession to just provide money to pay for shelter, food, and clothes, and watching out not to lose yourself, family, your universal and spiritual inheritance in pursuing too much. It is about becoming a wise, gentle, flexible, loving, caring, vital person, living with the highest virtues and being an example to others. Quote, live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi. End of quote. The guiding force of duality. Accept and deal with the duality in everything and everybody. In regards to studying, know that there will be easy and hard times, that there will be information you really like and other information that is not of your interest at all. There need to be two sides to the story, otherwise you would not be able to realize, recognize, and appreciate the other side. Everything in creation, which is created in opposites, has already a duality within itself. In order to experience something that is not part of the duality, you must start the inward study and rise above the realm of mind and matter. Quote, one should act in consonance with the way of heaven and earth, which is enduring and eternal. The superior man perseveres long in his course, adapts to the times, but remains firm in his direction and correct in his goals. The I-Ching. End of quote. The guiding force of time. Learn to live in the moment. In regards to studying, know that everything you want to learn will take a certain amount of time. And the more you are in the present moment when you study, the faster you can learn about any subject. Quote, It is good to have an end to journeys towards, but it is the journey that matters in the end. Ursula K. Le Guin. End of quote. So do not let the mind pull you into the past or future or making you rush in the moment, because it will only delay what you want to achieve. Quote, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." Bruce Lee. End of quote. There is also a zone in the creation of time in which you can learn even faster, but you must be out of the way with all your conditioned ways regarding time thinking. When you want to go beyond the realm of time, you must learn to sit in silence and tune in to the timeless. Quote, "Energy is the essence of life. Every day you decide how you're going to use it by knowing what you want and what it takes to reach that goal, and by maintaining focus." Oprah Winfrey. End of quote. The guiding force of change. Learn to go with the ever-changing adventure. In regards to studying, are you at times trying to force yourself through one study subject? Change the strategy and focus on another subject and get back at a later point in time to the one you're struggling with too much. Start becoming a student of change, and you will be successful because change is all there is. Do not try to find security in studying in one direction towards one profession. Be open for change in the ever-changing phenomena called life. Quote, "Enjoying success requires the ability to adapt. Only by being open to change will you have a true opportunity to get the most from your talent." Nolan Ryan. End of quote. The guiding force of cycles. Tune into the natural cycles of life. In regards to studying, are you appreciating and enjoying the phase in your life, the cycle that which gives you the opportunity to study? Don't be impatiently waiting to be already in the next phase of your life. It will come sooner than you think. Quote, "Patience and perseverance have a magical effect, before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish." John Quincy Adams. End of quote. Studying itself is subject to the force of cycles. Slowly get yourself to sit for studying and get everything together that you need. That is the warming up part, so to speak. The main part of the cycle is the repeat and going over what you have already studied, and the second part is getting to do something new, to something new. Know as well that there is a cool down phase needed in order to calm your energy, which could be the summary. The guiding force of balance. It is nature's duty to recreate balance. In regards to studying, ask yourself if you're not losing the balance between time for studies, health, and free time. Studying should not go at the cost of your sleep and your health, for they are the balance to concentrate it to get studying going. Make sure that your future profession is to benefit not just yourself, your ego, and your pocket, but that the entire world benefits from it. When this is not achieved, you just will be adding to more and more imbalance that will affect you and everything and everybody around you. Study for the benefit of all. Quote, "Just as love is an orientation which refers to all objects and is incompatible with a restriction to one object, so is reason a human faculty which must embrace the whole of the world with which man is confronted." Erich Fromm. End of quote. The guiding force of necessities. Simplicity is the key. In regards to studying, stay aware that the basic idea of studying is to later make some money to provide you with the basic needs of life. Be careful for wanting a certain profession, for it is just your ego related and nothing to do with simplicity. When at times the study subject looks like a mountain, just take it a step at a time. Learn your basic skills like cleaning up after yourself and preparing healthy meals. Take the little repairs in your own hands and develop another skill. Take care of yourself when getting sick, and you may be able to help others. Exercise your body well and you might be able to help others in the future. Work in the garden with plants and vegetables. There are endless professions you can pick up during the course of life. Quote, "The evolution of knowledge is towards simplicity, not complexity." L. Ron Hubbard, end of quote. The guiding force of wholeness. No need to go more into separation. In regards to studying, know that learning is for the sake of integrating yourself and not to separate yourself. When you study to make yourself stand out, to be smarter and better than others, it will also separate you from them. Making your money after you are finished with your studies in regards to having a profession is to support your livelihood, the union of your relationship or family, and not for other reasons that will cause separation. Studying and later having a profession is not meant for boosting your ego, power and money games, but towards wholesome living, which includes respecting all living things. The learning of skills and making money is not just for yourself, which would be separation, but to contribute to the world at large. Quote, "The first condition of education is being able to put someone to wholesome and meaningful work." John Ruskin, end of quote. The guiding force of comprehension. There is always more than you can see or comprehend. In regards to studying, know that you are never finished studying, as each subject has more things you don't know yet. So be careful with coming to conclusions and statements, for it is not the entire picture. Whatever you learn, realize that you only comprehend the information on your conditioned level of consciousness. Quote, "We especially need imagination in science. It is not all mathematics nor all logic, but it is somewhat beauty and poetry." Maria Montessori, end of quote. Be careful with having expectations with your knowledge and future profession, because endless factors are playing part which you are not able to see. The guiding force of improvement and perfection. There is always room for improvement. In regards to studying, be careful with studying for the perfect profession and perfect job. Studying helps to improve your worldly skills, but there is not such a thing as the perfect profession or job. There always will be imperfections. All worldly studies are part of the imperfect world, bound to time, created in duality and constantly changing. Although you cannot be perfect in worldly knowledge, know that there is always room for improvement. Quote, "Knowledge has to be improved, challenged and increased constantly, otherwise it vanishes." Peter Drucker, end of quote. The guiding force of order, place and function. Everything is part of an order and has a function and place. In regards to studying, know that you will be studying and learning all your life, but that when you are young, that studying has a special place. So make use of that time. Your parents or some other source is taking care of your basic needs, and the best contribution you can make is to complete your part, which is studying, and not giving anyone trouble. Studying is one of your major jobs, your place for that time. next to assisting in other chores. Also, do not be impatient wanting to be in the working world. That time will come sooner than you think. All you learn and study has a function, and not only preparing you for a profession, but to function in general better in life. Quote, "You are always a valuable, worthwhile human being, not because anybody says so, not because you're successful, not because you are making a lot of money, but because you decide to believe it and for no other reason." Wayne Dyer. End of quote. The guiding force of cause and effect. Every action has not just one reaction, but causes a chain reaction and creates a reality you have to deal with. In regards to studying, realize that the motive of your studying and the way you study will play a major part in your future profession and business. When you just study for the diploma or later work just for the money, you will be a slave of it. The realities you all live in are organized by yourself. Study for the sake of learning, just like you later can contribute with your skill and profession wherever you can. Quote, "I think the person who takes a job in order to live, that is to say for the money, has turned himself into a slave." Joseph Campbell. End of quote. You do not need to feel proud when you have achieved something that was already inside of you. You also do not need to feel deprived of not being able to study something or entering a specific school, for what is there for you will come to you, although you may have to put some effort in to see what is for you, but do it without any expectations. The guiding force of contraction and expansion. Quality or quantity? In regards to studying, know that you can be busy just with quantity by trying to do too much and wanting to grasp everything too fast, and as a result you miss out on studying with quality. When you are too fast and trying to do too much, your body, including your brain and nerves, will contract as a natural defense, and to absorb more will be very difficult. Studying too many hours without a pause will have that same result. Quote, "When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps." Confucius. End of quote. There could be a tendency of wanting to know it all, but when you look at all your study subjects and their information, you know it's impossible. This is only possible when you reach a spiritual level of consciousness. The guiding force of repetition. Using the ability to repeat for the right reason and purpose. In regards to studying, know that through the capacity of repetition, you can learn skills and subjects. The more and longer you repeat something, the stronger and more dominant that skill or subject will be. But be careful that these dominant programs do not take over your life, and that life is just about them. Anything you learn to do, do it with care, because that too will be a part of any dominant programs which you condition through repetition. Even the way you now walk, stand, sit, eat, talk and think was once a part of the learning process that took place through repetition. Quote, "First, one must understand conditioning. Only then can we speak of choice." Rashid Ugunlaru. End of quote. The guiding force of reflections. All your experiences are a reflection from within yourself. In regards to studying, know that all your study is a reflection from within your own mind. It is already inside the universal mind, for how could you recognize a banana when it would not already be within your own mind? The external world and all you learn or know about is a reflection or mirror from the inside of your own mind. Also understand that what you want to achieve on the outside, you must also achieve on the inside, otherwise you are just building castles in mid-air. The musician, study the music in everything and everyone, and find out about the eternal sound. The artist, become an artist in all aspects of life. A healthcare practitioner, learn to take first care of your own health and well-being. The photographer, learn to see the beauty inside yourself and in everybody. The banker, make sure to invest in healthy cells. And realize that there is always more you don't know yet. Quote, the more I read, the more I meditate, and the more I acquire, the more I am able to affirm that I know nothing. Voltaire. End of quote. The guiding force of rhythm and vibrations. Realize that what you are, you will attract or repel. In regards to studying, know that each study subject has an energetic vibration, and that the way you study has also a rhythm and vibration, and that all becomes part of your physical being. It is for that reason that you are attracted to others who are resonating with those same vibrations and life rhythms, and that you repel and stay away from others. The sum total of what and how you learn during the course of life is what makes you, on a physical level, who you are today. So when you are appreciative, curious, and learning about interesting and amazing things, and with a positive and attending attitude, you will be around the people of the same kind. You are like magnets, repelling or attracting each other. Quote, enlightenment is not imagining figures of light, but making the darkness conscious. Carl Gustav Jung. The guiding force of service. Learn to serve and care. In regards to studying, know that study information serves you so you can learn something. The way to serve back is to study as good as you can and to use the information and your future profession to serve yourself with the basic needs of life and to serve others. When you use information and your future profession for selfish reasons, know that you have missed to tune in to the universal energy called service. Only by really caring about yourself, others and the world will you be able to serve well. This service is done with love and without any expectation, although there can be a financial exchange based on economic standards. Creator and creation serves you, and you have to care and serve in return. Study for gaining long-term knowledge in order to serve others, and trust that you will be supported to maintain a good livelihood. This is an automatic gift from universe and nature. Quote, for the progress of humanity, work alone is not adequate, but the work should be associated with love, compassion, right conduct, truthfulness, and sympathy. Without the above qualities, selfless service cannot be performed. Sri Shadya Sai Baba. End of quote. The guiding force of individuality. There is no need for comparing and competing. In regards to studying, stay aware that you study in your complete individual and unique way. There is no need to try to study in the same way as someone else does, nor is there any need for competition. Unfortunately, most school systems are based on comparing and competing. And when you in that system And when you are in that system, you must be extra sharp-minded in order not to fall mentally and emotionally into that trap. Keep looking at and approaching study as an adventure of learning with care, without battling with others, and without frantically rushing to the finish line. Quote, "No one in the world was ever you before with your particular gifts and abilities and possibilities. It is a shame to waste those by doing what someone else has done." Joseph Campbell. End of quote.